There are so many shows wherein the hosts, the judges, the producers, the channels, so many other people know a lot of people already because they already have a personal relation amongst each other, and that's when they suggest these names to be put on the show. I don't have a godfather or godmother or somebody that I'm friends with who is going to go ahead and suggest my name. I feel like everybody, because if they've done shows before, there's so many people on the crew who already know them, right? Yeah. Like there's a different in terms of the treatment and in terms of like the rooms that you're giving, in terms of like the vanities you're given, or the basic food that you're given, or the call time that you're given, or the way you're yelled at if it's a second take.
You of course have a fantastic relationship with Karan. You know, you all are truly in that sense equal partners.
There were so many things that I feel like I didn't know about myself and that I could explore in myself in terms of everything that he has made sure that I explore. And he has been that one person like, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Oh, why stop here? Keep going. I think you should be more patient. Oh no, go for it. Probably just keep rehearsing, or stuff like that. That he has pushed me. So there's like there's me, and then there's like he's refined it a little. This is for all of the girls out there, that you can never be perfect.
Yeah.
Let's just say you fix your nose, you still have big cheeks. Let's just say you fix your cheeks, you'll still not be curvy even enough. Let's just say for you to be curvy enough, you start filling up things in your body, you'll still not be tall enough.
Hello everybody, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Wonder Women. It's a show where we celebrate women who are fantastic, who own who they are and have created a path for themselves. I'm of course talking about a woman who is so uninhibitedly herself. She has become the highest paid television actor, and the journey here needs to be celebrated. Talk about the beautiful Tejasswi Prakash. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you so much.
You are a Wonder Woman, of course.
Thank you so much.
But I said that you are uninhibitedly yourself, है ना? पर ये यहाँ तक पहुँचना भी एक journey होता है.
Yeah.
The confidence that you have today was not that you began with, I assume.
Absolutely.
Tell me, how did that happen? What were the moments in life where you kind of became the Tejasswi sitting in front of me?
I wasn't very accepting of the person that I was, because I felt like everybody else around me criticized the way I was. Like in the sense, like even when I was a kid, I would really say whatever I felt like, irrespective of how the other person is going to perceive it, because I always felt like, पर मैं बात तो सही कह रही हूँ ना, तो मतलब मेरी गलती कहाँ है, तो मतलब where am I going wrong? And and then people like my relatives would tell my mom that I'm very uddhat, like she doesn't know like how she should talk, and stuff like that. She back answers a lot and everything. But my parents never stopped me from believing what the other people want me to believe just because they are saying so. Because every time I would say something, my parents were so open-minded that they would actually hear me out and actually think, oh, but what she's saying is right. So the only thing that they taught me was, whatever you think, always put across, but be very soft about it. You can say what you want to, you can put forward your thoughts on what you think is right, but there's always a way of doing it. So that's one thing that I changed growing up. But to that whole thing, I've added also another thing that life has taught me, and that is when to say it also. It's not only about how to say it, it's also about when to say it. There's so much that you feel like you want to say, but it's not the right timing, and you're still not there in your life to actually say these things and to believe in these things, and which is why I feel like when you've reached a certain stage, then you can say a lot of things you want to. But so yeah, probably that's how I am now inhabitantly myself, because now I've learned to be a lot more aware of another person's emotions, and now I take a lot more care before saying whatever I want to say. Also, it's a very tricky world that we live in right now. Like everything you say can go against the other person. You have to be more sensitive, and so there's a lot of restrictions.
तो थोड़ा तो आई थिंक मेमोरी लेन पे जाना चाहिए हम लोगों को, है ना? सो वी गोना गो देयर.
या श्योर.
यू नो, कहा जाता है, हम सबको पता भी है कि आउटसाइडर्स के लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है यहाँ अपना मार्क बनाना, बिकॉज यू नो यू कम इन द इंडस्ट्री विच इज़ वेरी एलियन टू द वर्ल्ड दैट यू बिलोंग टू, एंड देन यू कम एंड मेक अ स्पेस फॉर योर सेल्फ. So I want to know, when did Tejasswi realize that she wanted to do this, A? And what were the initial struggles that you went through to kind of make your mark, to find a space in an industry where you had no one?
Yeah. So there are so many shows wherein the hosts, the judges, the producers, the channels, so many other people know a lot of people already, because they already have a personal relation amongst each other, and that's when they suggest these names to be put on the show. And this happens in probably every show, right? I don't have such a person. I don't have a godfather or godmother or somebody that I'm friends with who is going to go ahead and suggest my name and be like, oh, you should take her, or you know, stuff like that. So there's one thing that I also feel like is an advantage to these other people and not for me. But I don't want a life and a journey and a career where I have these advantages. Because right now I'm at a stage where I can actually tell people that I am self-made. Completely. Like there is nobody else who's actually pushed me or suggested my names, or I've had to have a personal relation with, so they kind of like, you know, suggest my name or, you know, butter them in any way to be able to keep working for this long. I've not had to do this, and I can say this with so much pride and so much self-respect, that I have got all the projects that I've got so far only and only on the basis of my talent.
Because we talk about that, do you know the moment where you used to go for auditions and what you were, what was going through your mind actually, right? You're in Bombay, you know, you've been here, but then to go there and really hustle, the beginning of the hustle is always very difficult, क्योंकि आपको पता नहीं होता ना क्या होने वाला है, कैसे होने वाला है. Tell me those moments to, of course, then finally, you know, making it.
So initially, like my first show was pretty straightforward. I did a pageant, I won it, and then I got my first show. But then when I kind of decided to be a part of this industry and this is what I wanted to do in life, is when I actually took up auditions a lot more seriously. And back in the day I didn't have a car, and there were auditions wherein they would want me to wear a nice party outfit with like a proper makeup and hair, and I would go for these auditions in the afternoon, and I would have to like wear these outfits and go in a rickshaw. And I'm sure like everybody must be like wondering, why is she so decked up, like, and like why is she so ready and like going in a rickshaw somewhere. And it was like super awkward. Or like even if I'm wearing like a proper suit, like my neighbors used to be like, why is she wearing a proper Indian suit or like a sari and like going, and because I would feel very awkward to go to these auditions and change in their washrooms, right? So I would be like, I'd rather just change and go and then like come back. And I unless if there were like 2-3 auditions that I would be doing in a day, then I would obviously be dressed up and carry my other changes with me. So that whole process, I feel like every actor who comes to Mumbai goes through. So this, what I'm saying, is not something out of the ordinary that I had to do, except for if you have friends in the industry, then probably it's a lot more easier. Or if you have a driver and a car, then it's a lot more easier because you're just coming out of the building and getting in your car. But when you're doing all of this in like a rickshaw, or you're probably traveling in a train, it's a bit weird because you're like super ready. You're like super ready. You're in your heels and your dress and like full makeup and hair. So those were like pretty awkward times, to be honest. But other than that, I've never really had to face issues such as like casting couch and all of that. I've never really been approached.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, so I feel blessed that I haven't been, and it's unfortunate to all of the girls who have been. And I can't really talk much on that because I've really not gone through it. But now, if I ever am to imagine, it's a terrible feeling.
Of course. As a woman in this industry, what are the struggles that you had to do? You know, what were the things that you had to fight for yourself?
Initially, if you kind of are working with an actor, and that can be any actor of the crew who's elder to you, I feel like everybody, because if they've done shows before, there's so many people on the crew who already know them, right? So then there's a lot of more, how do I say, like there's a different in terms of the treatment and in terms of like the rooms that you're giving, in terms of like the vanities you're given, or the basic food that you're given, or the call time that you're given, or the way you're yelled at if it's a second take or stuff like that, or if you actually forget your lines, or if you fumble too often, then it's a lot more of that. But I feel like I very much at the initial stage only, by the time I did my second or my third show, I kind of realized my worth. And then I was like, I'm not doing anything in lesser than this, because I know that, because every time I would do a show, and then I would realize that these are the people I'm working with, but people are liking me more.
Yeah.
So why am I not getting paid more? Like I should be. So then I started asking for it, and even if it took me longer to get the other show, it was at least worth it, right?
Yeah.
Because now I was getting paid the way I should be, and I was being shown, because now that they're spending on you so much, now they're going to use you, right? Now they're going to put you in every frame, and the entire story is going to be about you, and there's going to be everything revolving around you, because now they want to make it worth every penny of theirs. So like I started getting that space, and I started getting that kind of value in a project that I was doing, and of course the love that I was getting through them. And so I never settled for anything lesser than what my value was.
And which is fantastic, and that is how it should be. We have to fight for
as it should be,
for yourself. And of course, Naagin was that point, because everybody was writing about the fact that you had become television's highest paid actor. You were actually that actor that they wanted to cast in a lot of the shows that had really interesting roles post that.
Yeah.
But even then, you were not doing too many projects. I remember the last time we spoke as well, and otherwise, you've always mentioned that I wanted to put my best in something, but you were secure enough to be like, I don't have to be seen all the time.
Yeah.
Which again will make you take up work that you completely believe in, right? Like,
correct.
So tell me what happened post that, and now that of course that chapter is over, you are looking into a very new chapter for yourself. So I want to know about this side of the story now.
So after Naagin, the thing is that I'd just come out of the Big Boss house, and I started shooting for Naagin literally the next day. Like today I got out of the house, and the next day I'm actually shooting for Naagin. So I had like zero break. And then Naagin, which was a show which was supposed to be on for 6 months, ran up to like 2 years. And so I literally had like no break, and then I was like, I can afford to take a break now. So let me see if I can try something new, something interesting. So I did keep trying that, and I did keep auditioning for that. And ultimately I was like, if I'm coming back to television, it should be something fun, and it should be something that people would like to watch me in. And then surprisingly I got this offer, and it was Masterchef, which was a huge platform globally. Like everybody knows Masterchef, and it's the first time they're doing it with celebrities in India. And there have been Masterchef celebrities outside of India, but this is the first in India. And my obsession with food. So I was like, this offer's so tempting, because now this is like when I come to the set, I look at so much food, I can smell so much food, everybody's talking about food, everyone's thinking about food, everyone's criticizing food, there's people eating food, there's people cooking food, and it's like a world of food. And I'm obsessed with food and everything food. So I was like, it cannot get any better than this. I have to try it. I have to give my best on this show. Now that I'm a part of this show, now I want to give my best to this show, because there's so much to food, and I feel like it's a huge emotion for me. Like I say it as if but it really is. I feel like what you eat is what you are, I feel, and that's why I feel like it's so much easier to take a bite and enjoy it and say that I'm a foodie, but there's so much that goes on behind every plate that's served in front of you. There's so much work, and there's so much struggle to actually get to that level of being able to cook in a restaurant as a chef. And this is to all of the chefs out there who have started at a very small scale. And it's like back in the day when people had started, all we kind of new chefs in India were as bawarchis, and there's so much more to it. There's such a big difference between a cook and a chef, and now we're talking about a chef, and that's a serious struggle, and there's so much study, and there's so much culinary excellence that goes into this. And this is interesting. This is like, and I love to learn new things, and this is like it's like even in like in my normal life, I would just keep scrolling down like food reels, and now I'm actually looking at it like with so much more focus because I'm gonna have to make it. It's such a new journey that I'm on, and it's so exciting.
It's fantastic, and
It's
I always know
exciting.
that you were very, very excited about food and you love it.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic. So I know that you were also telling that I would like to seriously look at films
Yes.
as well. You know, you did a
Yes.
Marathi film last year.
Yes.
And I know that you also want to do more Hindi films. How has that journey been taken from there? What do you find the struggles are for you?
There's a lot of struggle there because I feel like there's so many new girls. I'm going to talk about girls because I'm a girl.
Of course.
So, I don't care about all the boys coming in really. So like there are already so many girls coming in, and there's pretty much like my same age bracket, and then they already have their families in the industry, and then there's so much of them also aapas mein that there's so much happening amongst each other already, and then there are so many influencers who've become actors, then there's so many people like me who are trying to do it, that I really don't doubt the makers. Like they must be like, what do I really do this? Like I feel like there's so many of us right now that there's, and it's unfortunate, I'll tell you something, and that's so every time I've been going for a meeting and everything, all of these casting agencies and these production houses and these management agencies have been like, there's no project. Like nobody is really making films because there have been like huge films that have come out with like massive cast and like massive ensemble that have not done well at all. So the industry is like really not in a good state is what they're saying. So I feel like there needs to be a change, truly, and I really hope that the films start doing well, because only when the films start doing well will there be more films being made for us to be a part of.
Sure.
But right now films aren't really doing that well, to be honest. I like from the numbers that we're seeing, no, I don't see any craze in people to go and watch films unless if they're like a South remake or a South Indian film. Or otherwise pretty much everyone's like just turning over to OTT.
Because we're on this subject, does it become difficult when you are such a big name in television? Because they have a certain idea of who you are. From what is it very difficult to break that for you, Tejasswi? Because you know, casting and the casting stereotypes can be a major hindrance.
Yeah, it is kind of difficult, because I tell you what, it's not just the fact that I'm from television, it's also because people like me so much and I am really out there. Like people want to kind of interview me or pap me or just take my pictures and put it everywhere, and you know, stuff like that you can't miss me. Like it's so then what's happened is that I feel like a lot of people think I'm overexposed, but I don't believe I am, because it's a different side of me that these people have seen, and as an actor, as a performer, I'm somebody who will deliver something completely else, because that's not me playing me. That's me portraying another character to its best ability. So I just feel like if people understood that, it would be a lot more easier.
No, 100%. But on that note, I also have to talk about the fact that you are always confident in whatever you wear. But I know it's a journey for all of us, for a lot of women. You know, we fail to look beyond our physical flaws or our physicality sometimes, because the society around you is always obsessed with that. It's been a journey for all of us, right? For you, I see that, you know, you're very confident in what you are, but I'm sure it's not been easy for you as an actor. You get so much criticism from the world. Everyone thinks it's okay to come and tell you something. How have you dealt with that pattern? And today, how do you look at this journey with yourself?
But at the same time, when you're asking me about these comments that come, it's only so much that I'm going to take seriously, right? So I do, first of all, I don't go through these comments. If in case I do, I actually sit down and think about it. If you think that they're wrong, then don't take the criticism. But if you think they could be right, of course take it and learn from it and better yourself. Like why not? Because I feel like this is for all of the girls out there, that you can never be perfect. Let's just say you fix your nose, you still have big cheeks. Let's just say you fix your cheeks, you'll still not be curvy even enough. Let's just say for you to be curvy enough, you start filling up things in your body, you'll still not be tall enough. If you're not tall enough, I honestly don't even know the solution for that, but it'll never be enough.
Yeah.
So how about you actually just do the best that you can with yourself, but not to an extent that you're just like stagnant, but yes, do your best.
Yeah.
And then respect yourself enough to find yourself pretty, because there's nothing that can make you prettier than your confidence. And I'm telling you this, I've seen prettiest girls with zero confidence, zero substance, nothing to talk about, and all that they are is pretty, is so boring to me.
Yeah.
Because I cannot sit and talk to you about anything about myself or yourself, or do I even want to know you better? Do I even want to get to know you? Because it's nothing, there's nothing that's interesting me about you, other than like looking at you really. But that's really not what you or as a woman should be. A woman should be confident in herself, and that will make you look pretty, and that will make you look so much more interesting and so much more intriguing that people will want to know you.
Tejasswi, I think at certain point in our lives, we also know the kind of man we want to be with, you know, and you of course have a fantastic relationship with Karan. Again, you've always told that you know, you all are truly in the sense equal partners, and that is what I feel also adds to who you are today, right? Like you are your own person. Tell me how that has been. You know, it's been so many years and everybody loves you, both of you, so much, but that has not ever overpowered who you are, which is beautiful. Tell me about that.
Never it has ever overpowered who I am. In fact, there were so many things that I feel like I didn't know about myself and that I could explore in myself, in terms of everything that he has made sure that I explore. And he has been that one person like, why don't you try this, why don't you try that, oh why stop here, keep going, I think you should be more patient, oh no, go for it, probably just keep rehearsing, or you know, stuff like that, that he has pushed me. So there's like a there's me, and then there's like he's refined it a little. so if anything, it's a very critical decision who you take as a life partner, because that past partner can either make you a better version of yourself, or can be that one person who can be like, oh why do you need to do this, like it's fine now, I'm here. No, like there has never been a time where Karan's ever asked me to stop dreaming big or aiming big or working towards like a bigger plan in life.
Yeah, but I see you build your world together. It's beautiful, having a house together and having your own individual journeys, and I'm very, very proud of you. But is it a lot sometimes when people are always kind of having their own judgments about you, or does that not bother you anymore?
I think it's gone down a little. I think,
a little bit.
It has gone down a little. It's gotten better. So I think we're fine. I think we're fine, and we've always welcomed all the love, and all the hate we've not really bothered about, because we've always been so into ourselves. We're so full of our relationship selves. I feel
Beautiful.
like that. We don't really let anything else bother us. We keep each other too busy.
I love that.
Yeah.
It is okay. It's your life. You get to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Finance management. A part of brand Tejasswi also is handling that, right?
Yeah.
They always say, you know, it's always encouraged that you should be financially independent for women.
Yeah.
And you have obviously always endorsed that. Tell me how have you invested, or how have you managed that part, because it all adds up to the brand Tejasswi today, na?
Yeah. So in terms of my money management, my biggest, I think my reason to be the way I am is because of my mother, because my first investment was never a car, or it was never a bike or heels or anything. It was my first investment was my first house. And then that's when the journey started, because when I went to my first house and I was like kind of emotional about it, my mom was like, get out, we're going to put it out on rent. And so don't get attached to this. This is an investment, it's not a house. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. So that was a big shocker for me, because it was a big moment, but my mom didn't let me get emotionally attached to it, because now we're talking money, we're talking investment. So that's a lot of brain. And it's a lot more brain over heart, lot more brain over heart.
Yeah.
So you cannot be attached to your investments. You really need to know when to exit. Even if, let's just say I'm trading, and if I'm trading options, right? And let's just say it's an option that is going out, like going up. there should be a certain amount that you should know to exit. And at the same time, you should also know your stop loss, like which is your exit amount if it starts dropping down.
Sure.
If you're somebody who thinks you're just going to sit in front of the computer and you're going to see the market and then, and you know, why do I need to set it? And I'll just exit it when I see it, right? I don't need to really set it. You're so wrong. You're so wrong, because once you see it going up, there's no human who can actually exit it. Like when you can see it going up and you're actually not, like you're exiting, that's not possible. So I think like my most basic while in terms of trading is like just set your margin, just set your stop losses, and just set your targets. So which are these three things that you have to just set it. Now even if it's tempting to keep going up, don't do it. Especially, first of all, don't trade options. I feel like options and futures, pretty much just always go for equity. But in case if you are, then please set your targets and play safe. Yeah, don't do, I think just trade equity, and this is my pretty much like if an investment thing, apart from real estate, it would be like the stock market.
I love the passion that you just showed. Like you fully went into it.
Yeah. This is basics. I can go on and on about, but this is basic.
But I love it, you know. But on that note, of course, after full hustling, doing all of this, what's one way that you can relax? What is comforting to you to take care of your mental health, or to just have a moment?
First of all, whenever I'm having like a mad schedule, mad, my first week goes in just staying at home and watching TV and eating my mom ke haath ka khana. After the first week, if I still have a lot of off time, that's when we start traveling. Like, let's just say if I go to the Goa house, or like if we're doing like somewhere abroad, so that's the traveling part. And then traveling also, most of the time, if it's like a relaxed thing, then it will be the Goa house, because Goa we've seen, so we can waste our days just staying in the room. But if it's a new place we're going, we have to look around, na? So if it's like a relaxed thing, then it's a place that we've already been to. But if it's like an exploring place, and that means it's not like I'm too tired. That means I have the energy to go and explore. So then that's two different versions of holidays.
I love it, and it's necessary.
So that's my me time after like a stressful shooting schedule.
I love that. Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 10 years? What is it? How do you picture it? If I say, let's just paint me a picture, what would you think that picture would look like?
I see the world change 10 years down the line in terms of their perception of television and OTT platforms, and this whole obsession of like just that big screen. It's I feel I see myself as a lot more appreciated actor, and an actor taken a lot more seriously.
I love that.
And ruling, and that's always
That's
ruling,
always
ruling. Whatever I'm doing, I'm ruling.
Some of the women in your life who've truly inspired you, who would they be and why?
It has to be my mom. She's a fighter, and if you ask any of the people around me, Karan, my friends, my relatives, anybody, I feel they'll also take my mother's name. Because my mom's raised us all alone, single-handedly ever since we were kids. She has made me the woman I am, independent, emotionally stable, financially intelligent, and more confident, and yet a humble human being. Everything that I am at the moment is all my mom's teaching. So it has to be her. It has to be her.
So if you had to give an advice to a lot of young actors, young female actors who are going to be a part of this industry, trying to break through in television and, you know, getting inspired from you, what would you tell them?
Go for it. I mean, you need to always try to do your best in anything that you do. Don't listen to what other people have to say about your best. Your best is your best. They'll never know. You should know that was your 100%. You should be content that I don't care about that. I don't care what they say, but I actually truly gave my 100%, because when you do that, you'll feel so much happier in yourself, because you know you did all that you could. So do that. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take this whole audition too seriously, because not any actor in the whole world has cracked every audition that they've given, and I mean any actor in the world.
Sure.
you're not going to get every audition that you go for. And yeah, just keep working at it.
I love it. Excellent advice as usual. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Tejasswi.
so much. Thank
Always
you.
so much fun chatting with you.
Same.
Thank you.